Today I'm running down my top 15 favorite movies from the 70s decade. This is also serving as video submission for Tim Talks Talkies Community Challenge. But before we get into the list, of course, if you love collecting physical media just like us on this channel, go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all this physical media goodness. And of course, leave in the comments below what would be your favorite 70s movies, because I know your list would look way different from mine. This is just my own personal take. So here we go. First up, we're going to actually have the Alfred Hitchcock collection here at the bottom with two titles. Number 15 is actually going to go to Frenzy, which is like a horror slasher type of Hitchcock movie. And I was really captivated when I watched that one. I thought it was pretty cool. And then after that, we're going to have at the 14th spot, Family Plot, which I thought was a good mystery thriller from Hitchcock. So I really enjoyed that one. Remember looking it up on my ranking list, and it was pretty high. All right, next up, number 13 spot. We're going to have some horror love here. We're going to have The Wicker Man, which this movie is a slow burn, but it's very atmospheric. I like the ideas. It kind of plays around with different cultures and religions. And then by the end, your jaw is dropped with what's going on with these people. So, got to have this one. All right, next up, number 12, some more horror love. We're going to have Carrie. Yes, you don't want to take this lady to the prom because then all wildness is going to break out. The mom's performance in here is really terrifying. So, you got to shout out some Carrie here at number 12. All right, next up, we're going to have at the 11th spot, you got to have Star Trek The Motion Picture. Yes, the first Star Trek movie. It's my favorite out of the classic Star Trek movies, even though some people think it's boring. I think it does a great job of capturing Star Trek with space and exploration, character performances, and by the end, I think the message is there, and I really enjoyed it. All right, number 10, we're going to have some more sci-fi love with Alien. Yes, I really like the first Alien movie. I prefer it over Aliens actually, because then it becomes action at that point, and I just like having that isolated horror feeling with the alien kind of lurking, going after people slowly, and it up with the mouth, right? You got to have some alien love there. So there we go, number 10 spot. All right, next up at number 9, we got to have some King Kong love. Yes, the one from the 70s. It's a King Kong story. You know what to expect, Beauty and the Beast, and then the New York setting by the end I really enjoyed. So, yeah, got to have that there. All right, next up, we're at number 8. Number 8, we're going to have The Man with the Golden Gun. Yes, a James Bond film. A lot of people don't shout this one out. I have to because I really like the story. I find the Golden Gun fascinating. I like the villains in here with Nick Nack, and I just think it's really entertaining. Roger Moore is a great 007 actor. All right, then we're at number 7, I believe. So here we got Shaft. Yes, I really like the music in Shaft, but this is another kind of James Bond type of movie. But you got Roundtree in there, really good in the role. Just has kind of a vibe to him I really like. So this is a very fun action movie. All right, next up, we're at the number 6 spot now. And we gotta have Jaws 2. Yes, the sequel. I know I could have put the first one on here like everybody else, but I saw this one for the first time this past year, and I really liked it. It felt more slashery to me than the first one. First one was a little bit slower to me. I had a fun time with this one. So yeah, I'm gonna shout out the sequel here, Jaws 2. All right, next up, we are now getting into our top 5. Let's see what makes my top 5 here. At the 5th spot, we're gonna have, it gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. So you got The Godfather, of course. This is one of my favorite classic movies of all time. I love the performances here of Marlon Brando, of course. Just so good and so powerful. The Corleone family. It's like your go-to crime drama. This movie influenced so many others. I love the production, the costume designs here, and by the end, your jaw just gets dropped as well. So really powerful stuff. Gotta shout out The Godfather. All right, next up, number 4, we are going to have Superman the movie. Yes, I'm a superhero fan. I got to show some superhero love here. And this is a really good superhero movie. It still holds up to date, in my opinion. You will believe a man can fly. But I like the beginning with the Krypton stuff. And then, of course, I think Christopher Reeves did just a great job as the Superman character. He understood the character, made him relatable. He's like the Boy Scout out there. And I really like this one. I like when he flies and captures Lois at the Daily Planet. I think it's all great stuff in this one. So yeah, you got the villain in there, of course, with Lex Luthor. There's some fun lines of dialogue. So I can be entertained by this one, absolutely. So definitely gotta have Superman the movie. on the list. All right, now we're into top three. Yes, top three. Third place. You guys know this was going to be here. I watch these movies all the time. It's my go-to rewatching franchise for when I'm working out, right? You got to have Rocky. Yes, I love Rocky. It's a great sports drama, just so inspirational. The underdog story. I've always loved stuff like that. And you're just rooting for Rocky the whole time. The training montages are great. Just the character development, how the relationship forms with Adrian. Yo, Adrian! It's just such a powerful story and just kind of gets my blood pumping. So I really like this one quite a bit. So number third spot. All right, now number two, like I said, I love the Rocky franchise. I got one more I can shout out from the 70s, and that's of course going to be Rocky 2. It's just like Rocky 1, but even better because Rocky wins in the end, and I love to see that triumph of the underdog. Apollo Creed, of course, is great in this one as well. I like that story where they're kind of just dogging on him, saying the fight was fixed from the first one, and there's just really powerful lines in here. The trainer, the manager, I guess you could say, with Apollo's like, hey, you don't want to fight this guy again. We don't need that kind of man in your life because he's going to keep coming after you. He saw him get beat like no other, and he kept coming after you. Ooh, that line just got me so many chills there. Absolutely love Rocky 2. So thrilling by the end. It's just all, and the training montages, the kids running with Rocky. It's all great stuff. All right, next up. Number one, first place. This is just one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's my favorite horror movie. So it has to be here. You know what it is. We got to have John Carpenter's original Halloween. I really love the score here. It's just so scary. It just gets you in the mood. I watch it every Halloween. Michael Myers, the shape in here, truly the boogeyman. I love the boogeyman kind of story. Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, I think is a really good hero in this one. And so, yeah, I really like this one. It's slower pace. I know some people don't love it maybe as much because it's slower, unless you're absolutely into horror. But if you love horror, you gotta love the boogeyman story. It just sticks with you and terrifies you to your very core. You can't get away from the shape, right? So, yeah, absolutely love Halloween. Just the original, always been my favorite. And then, of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and leave in the comments below your top 15 favorite movies from the 70s decade so we can have a fun time talking them down below. And of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and blockbust that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all these fun physical media goodness in the future. And of course, jingle the notification bell so you're alerted when a new video posts. And then, of course, just have a great time talking the movies. And if you enjoyed this topic, go ahead and mega blockbust the next one right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters.